Hi friends, Tracy.bish here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator in Central Victoria, Australia. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I'm so excited that you're family. Please make sure that you hit that subscribe so you don't miss out any future videos. So normally Thursdays I'm live. It's also the last Thursday for the month, which means that it is our free card class. And we're using the Adorable Owls stamp set. Now this is a free Sale A Bration item that you can pick up with a $90 order. But let me tell you, if you shop through me using the host code, place a $100 order in product, choose the Adorable Owls. If you don't already have that already, I will actually send you these 3 card kits, the PDF, and you'll have this video to watch as well. So just an added little bonus, and these are such cute cards, you're going to love them. So the kits come all individually wrapped. In the first kit you'll also get a pack of, or a strip of rhinestones, basic rhinestones. These are to use on all 3 cards. So this is the PDF. It has full colour photos, all the measurements and the instructions for you as well. So you are going to need some balmy blue ink pad as well as memento. I am using the stylish shape dies, but everything is pre-die cut. And everything's ready to go. I'm also using the Dandy Designs DSP. You will need Balmy Blue, Daffodil Delight and Crumb Cake stamping blend combos, but you can pop them in your order if you don't already have them, so it's a win-win. I'm also using that beautiful Simply Elegant trim, which is part of the kit. So let's get started. As we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about the card, and then I'm just going to have a little bit of chit chat with you because this video is 35 minutes long. I haven't edited it, I've left it all the way through, and I thought I might chit chat with you just to cover up some of the time. Now, normally I don't chit chat too much just because I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing as well as, chatting as well. I'm not real good at doing a couple of things, especially if I'm using a lot of brain power, so it doesn't always work for me. So for this card, it is thick basic white cardstock. We have a piece of Dandy Designs DSP, a strip of Mango Melody cardstock, and then we have that circle in thick Whisper White, and it's pre-die cut in the kit. So we're just going to stamp our owl in the middle of that circle, and also we also want to add our sentiment stamped down onto the Dandy Designs DSP. Now pretty quickly what we're going to do is we're going to liquid glue our DSP strip down, our Mango Melody strip down. We'll colour our little owl. We're going to pop it up with some dimensionals and then add some rhinestones. So really simple card. I have used all 3 of the colours, so the combo pack of Crumb Cake, the light Balmy Blue, and then I've used both colours of, or both Daffodil Delight, the light and dark, with the colouring of his eyes as well as his bow tie, which is so cute. Anyway, so as we're going, if anything comes up that I see, I'll let you know, but let's have some little quick chit chat as well. So like I said, it is my husband Adam and myself's 22nd wedding anniversary, so we're out for tea tonight. It's going to be super exciting because we're going to a place that we haven't been to, I think, since, I reckon it's probably 8 years ago for our wedding anniversary. It's a little Thai place, and it's actually a really nice meal, and I can't believe that we haven't been back, but that's where we decided to go to, so hopefully it's a good meal. I think it's the same people who own it that we went last time, so I'm sure it's going to be lovely. So it's been a really full-on week this week. We've had 2 birthdays. So on Friday, my husband turned 49, and let's just say he's already started with the not a midlife crisis, because it's not. He's really scared about turning 50, and I don't understand. I'm 46, so it may be because I'm a few years away from that, but he doesn't act like as though he's 49, so I don't see what the issue is. He's still really lighthearted and fun, so I think age is just a number, and that's what I keep telling him. Just because you're 50, or when you turn 50, doesn't mean you have to start becoming an old man. So I think he'll be right. We just got to keep talking to him. And so my daughter come home on Friday to celebrate his birthday. She is a few hours away, so she didn't get home till really late. But my son come in from Bendigo, so we all had, he actually brought home Chinese for us, so we got to have Chinese at home, which was so good. And then my daughter come home later with her boyfriend, so I think she got home, I'd say probably about 10 o'clock at night by the time she finished work and was driving here. I think it's about a, 3.5 hour or so drive, so it's a fair way. Anyway, so we got to celebrate Ad's birthday on Friday, and then Saturday morning we got to celebrate my daughter's birthday. So they're one day apart. My daughter turned 24, which, it's hard to believe that she's getting so old. I think that's what stresses me out more than my age. It's how old the kids are getting. So I've got a 21-year-old and a 24-year-old, which, yeah, that's pretty amazing. But it was really funny. My husband made the joke of next year, so he's already thinking about his birthday next year, which is crazy. Next year he'll be 50 and she'll be 25. So, maybe we'll have to do something special at that point. Maybe, I don't know. But, so she was home for her birthday as well. Now, we were opened with the shop on Saturday, so we just sort of hung around. We didn't do really that much at all. And we got to have a really, what she's craving when she was coming home was barbecue. So that's what we had for tea, which was really, really nice. My husband made up some rissoles. We had sausages, we had potato bake, for us, that's our usual barbecue, lots of coleslaw, salad. It's so yummy. And fresh bread rolls, like bake at home bread rolls. Yum. I'm all about the food, people. If you didn't know that already, I go everywhere where there's food, and that's the only places I go if there's food. I'm terrible. Yeah, so we got to spend, the whole weekend with them. And obviously my son come out again for Saturday for Dana's birthday. So it was really nice. It was just low key. We sat around, we chatted. I will say Friday was an absolute stinker of a day. It was too hot to do anything. And because we've got our horseshoes set up, that horseshoe game from America set up in our block next door, I really wanted to play that with the kids. Okay, so I've finished colouring in that little owl. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back and pop it up. And then lastly, we're just going to add 3 of those beautiful rhinestones down. So my whole aim on Friday for my husband's birthday was to, that night, just play a few games, like grab the horseshoes out. I've got a huge Jenga game that I got at Christmas time. We've also got cornhole. I got that for Christmas as well. So it was, we've got quite a few of these big games to play, but it was so hot that we really couldn't do any of that. So then I thought, well, maybe we could do it on Saturday, but we just got busy sitting around and chatting and doing things like that. So it was really a really great weekend. So there's our first card. Super easy, just absolutely gorgeous though. Okay, so moving on to the second card, I have my kit ready to go. And this one is actually a really fun card. So I've stamped the background with the balmy blue ink. We have a strip of balmy blue cardstock that we're going to distress. We've got a piece of that DSP, Dandy Designs DSP. Another circle, but this one is in balmy blue. I have a banner cut from that Stylish Shape dies. And we've got a piece there of basic white that we can stamp our owl and fussy cut him out. And what else do we have? We have some twine, silver twine, from that Simply Elegant twine that we're going to create our bow. So what I really like to do first is do our stamping. Because we're using this same stamp for both the balmy blue card base as well as the one that's stamped in Memento, I'm going to do just my layers around the sides of the card with the balmy blue. I'm also going to use my cleaner, so my Stampin' Scrub, I think that's what it's called. I actually don't use this on videos very often. You don't see me use it, but I use it in my craft room all the time. This is one of those tools that I highly recommend. You can run it underwater and clean it. You can purchase stamping mist, which not only cleans your stamps, but it also, it conditions your stamps as well. Especially for your cling stamps. Your cling stamps are that red rubber, and what this stamping mist does is it actually puts like putting oil on your skin. You know, it gives it that little bit of a barrier there to stop it from cracking. So it will really look after your stamp. So I highly recommend using that. So here we have the Memento. I'm going to bring in my Stamp and Scrub. And I don't know whether I show you too much, but one side has a little motif of a sun. The other side has raindrops. So on the raindrops side, you're going to stamp your stamp mist. Here it is. And then you're going to run your stamp over the stamp and mist side, and then you're going to dry it off on the other side. So it's a really great tool to have in your stash. Highly, highly, highly recommend that, as well as your paper trimmer. Those two things are tools that I think everyone should have in their arsenal. Okay, so we're stamping that owl that has the little birthday cap with the Memento. While I let that dry, I'm going to go in and start popping the card together. So the piece of balmy blue cardstock that we have, we're going to run scissors down the side. I'm just going to distress it a little bit. Gives it a little bit of extra texture and dimension, I think. It just gives it breaks down the balmy blue, because your piece of DSP is also balmy blue. So we just want to break that up a little bit, give it a little bit of extra design, maybe. I don't know how to describe it, but it looks really good. So you're just running your scissors down. I don't recommend using your paper snips. Use an old pair of scissors, a cheap pair of scissors, because it does blunt your scissors. So use ones that it doesn't really matter with. So it gives it a really great effect. Leaves lots and lots of mess around, but you know, it's pretty quick and easy to get rid of that as well. Just pop it on the floor. You'll be right, the vacuum cleaner will get it later. Alright, so we can start gluing our pieces together. I'm using liquid glue to glue down our balmy blue cardstock, and then liquid glue to do the Dandy Designs DSP. The circle is going to be popped up with dimensionals. We'll also colour in our owl, and I'm not sure, I think I'll have to come back in and stamp the sentiment. So I've used the My Friend for this card. Even though this could be a birthday card, you know, it's still it could be a friend birthday card. Why not? Oh, I've already stamped it. See, I missed that while I was talking. Anyway, so let's get back into what we're chatting about while we continue with this card. This is actually also a very simple card. A few more layers than the first one. But what I try and do is do, you know, something really basic, step it up a little bit, and then move to the third one with a little bit more technique. So these are good. These cards are so good for beginners all the way through to a crafter that's been doing it for a little while. I don't know, a seasoned crafter maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so quickly while we're talking, because we've popped dimensionals on that circle, what we're going to do for that banner that's actually popping off the edge of that circle, we're going to place 2 dimensionals down. So you put 1 dimensional down, take the backing off, put a dimensional down on top of that, and then the one further over you just put popping 1 dimensional down. So the one, because it's off that circle, you need 2 dimensionals on it because the circle is already popped up. Otherwise it'll slope down and it won't look quite so good. Alright, so we're going to bring in our stamping blends to colour. I'm using Balmy Blue and the Crumb Cake. Also, what you can do is bring in your Winker Stella around any part of it, especially the eyes. The eyes look really good. Another tip, which I've seen a lot of people do, is grabbing your fine tip glue and adding that to the eyes. And you could do that with all 3 cards. What it does, once it dries, is it looks like they're glassy. They look real. It is unreal. Like, and maybe I should have done it for one of the cards, but yeah, there's 2 tips for you. Winker Stella and fine tip glue if you want to add a little bit extra sparkle to it. If you're using the fine tip glue, please make sure that you maybe leave it overnight, because it does take a little bit longer to dry. Yeah, so okay, so back to it. On Saturday, we were sitting around, and while we're sitting around, my husband was on the Facebook Marketplace. I don't know whether your husbands are on that, or I think I should ban my husband from that. But he found something down in Melbourne. It's a motor for his hoist for the shed. So we bought a hoist, I don't know how many years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And the motor's no good on the hoist, so we can't actually use it. Now, we sort of do need a hoist because we have a mail run that Adam services our mail run car. So he does a lot of work on the car, whether it be brakes, wheels, just the main servicing. And it's easier if he's not putting it onto, up onto jacks. We do have a concrete pad, so it is on solid ground, but yeah, the hoist would work so well. Anyway, the motor wasn't working on that when he bought that, and this one come up in Melbourne for not bad of a price, I think. I don't know. I don't really know prices on those sorts of things, but he seemed to think that it was a really good price. So, of course, he bought it, which meant that come Sunday, that's what we were doing. So we get up in the morning, I do my live here. Our daughter's still here, so we have breakfast with her. Got to spend a little bit of time with her, and then because she's got a fair travel home, she did want to get home early so she could get ready she's a school teacher, so she wanted to get ready for work for the week. So I understand that. She left, I think it was probably around 10:30 or so, and Adam and I went down to Melbourne. Now, it wasn't just Melbourne, it was all the way down to the Mornington Peninsula, which is a long way when you're on the other side of Bendigo. But anyway, we went down there, we picked it up, and on the way home through Melbourne, we actually went to IKEA. Now, I swear, through COVID, we didn't go to IKEA at all, but we've been to IKEA quite a few times in the last year. But anyway, we went there, and we have been looking for couches for about 10 years. I reckon, maybe it's not that long. It's definitely not that long. We've had our couch for about 15 years. We have been looking for at least 3 years for a couch. We went to IKEA and bought a couch. Now, I can't tell you how many furniture shops we've been to. Not only, in Bendigo, we've been to Shepparton, we've been down to Melbourne. But yeah, we went in, we'd found one online that we liked, that you could rearrange the pieces to form how you wanted. So this new couch actually has 2 chasers in the middle. It has a single seat on either side, and then we have a 2-seater and a 3-seater, I think something like that, on the other side. So our lounge room is really, really huge, and we like that when we have people over, which is not very often, but when we have family over, that we've got room to sit us all comfortably. We're not sitting on top of each other, and we're not sitting on the floor. So what we've bought is hopefully going to be a good thing, because the chasers actually lift up and there's storage underneath. So I thought that was a really good idea. I'm not super keen on IKEA furniture. But yeah, we'll wait and see. The thing that got me though is the cost of getting it shipped to us. So it was one of those, I don't know whether you guys know, but some items in IKEA you can't actually pick up. They have to be delivered. And this couch is one of those things that has to be delivered. $600. $600 was the freight fee. And my husband thinks that that's not too bad. And maybe it's not. Maybe I'm a little bit out of reach. But that's a lot of money. $600 is a lot of money. Anyway, so we've bought it. I really hope that it looks nice in our lounge room, and that we find it comfortable and it wears well. Obviously we've got dogs, so they sit up on the couch, and hopefully, you know, we don't have any issues. Alright, back to tying this bow. I don't know whether you guys have any trouble tying bows. Sometimes I do really well. When I'm feeling a little bit stressed or I'm on camera, it takes me a long time. So, you know, if you've watched me, maybe I've been able to do it first time and fluked it. I didn't even count how many times that took me, but I know it took a long time. It's always a little bit easier to tie bows when they're on a roll or on the spool rather than when it's cut. Obviously I wanted to have even tails, so that's probably why it took me so long. I wanted to make sure that it was fairly even. I could have cut, you know, one side of the tails off, but I really wanted to keep that nice and long tail and really make it pretty. So yeah, look at this. This is the second card. So cute. Now the third one's going to be a little bit more tricky, so I probably won't have time to chat quite so much, but I hope you're enjoying the little chit chat. I don't know, let me know. If it's not for you, I apologise. I know it's not for everyone, and to be honest, I won't have this much to say every week because I just don't have that much going on that I think would be interesting to you guys. And this is probably not interesting to you either. I don't know. Alright, so this is the third kit. We've got 2 pieces of that Dandy Design DSP, 1 piece of basic white that's going to be on the back of the card, and then these 2 fresh freesia card bases. So that large one measures 4 1/8 by 11 5/8. We're going to do a little bit of scoring on the 11 5/8 inch side. So we're going to score at 5 7/8, 7 3/8, 8 7/8, and 10 3/8. Now this is going to create the base of the card, so we're going to fold it around to give us that little box down the bottom. The other way you could do it is you could just create the box and then glue it down onto the card piece, but I think this is just as easy, so why not do it this way. Alright, and we've got a second piece of the Fresh Freesia cardstock. This measures 2 1/4 by 4 5/8, and we're going to score that on the 4 5/8 inch side at 1/2 inch and 2 inch. This is going to be where we add our little picture of our owl. So there's not a lot of interest on this card. It's mainly focused on the stamped area, and then we've got added DSP to really pretty the card up. Okay, so you want to make sure that you use your bone folder to get nice, crisp score lines. So we're going to bring that in and do that. Once again, this is a little bit of a stepped up card for our third card. So hopefully you're loving these cards as much as I've enjoyed creating them. I can quickly tell you for next month, for March, the free card class is an Easter class using the Easter Bunny set. So this is a bundle. You can get the punch with it, but we're not actually using the punch. So even if you want to think ahead for next month for creating, we're using the Easter Bunny stamp set for next month's class. So we're just going to add a little bit of liquid glue. I'm folding it down and attaching it to that base piece. So when you fold it back, it sits up perfectly. And you want to fold it both ways to make sure that it sits down properly when you're popping it in an envelope. This fits in our normal standard envelopes as well. Okay, so before we pop our second piece down, we want to add our DSP. So we're just going to use liquid glue for that. We are going to pop up that base piece where we're sticking our owl. That's going to be popped up with some dimensionals. So just a little bit of glue in if I get chatting again and forget to tell you that. So once we have those down, we will add that second piece of Fresh Freesia cardstock. Dimensionals on that larger piece, and on the small tab we're going to use liquid glue. You want to make sure that when you're attaching these down that it's going to fold forward and flat. If you don't do it forward and flat, you're not actually going to be able to fold it to stick it in an envelope. So that's really, really important. So I'm just going to stick three dimensionals down the bottom. I'm going to attach that I'm going to glue this piece down first. So you just want to make sure that it's in the area that we want, and then I just place it down onto the back of that card base. You want to make sure that it's nice and straight as well. So when I put it down, it wasn't quite straight. Anyway, so yeah, so packed out weekend. We did get back from Melbourne actually really quite earlier than I thought, which was about 6 o'clock. So that was great after a long weekend and lots of being with people. I will say I did sleep so well on Sunday night that when I woke up Monday morning, it felt like I'd been asleep for an hour. So, you know, a lot of chatting, a lot of talking, you know, and it does wear out of me. I'm a bit of an introvert. Okay, so gluing those down, it fits perfectly on. Once you slide it forward, it folds out really nice and flat. So now we can start our stamping. So we have the basic white card base that's going to go on the back. This is where you can write, and then we have our piece of thick card base for our stamping of the owl. So we're using the third owl in this, which is the flying owl. So there's 3 images in the Adorable Owls stamp set, as well as 3 sentiments, and we've used all of those on these 3 cards. Now I did make a mistake with my kit with the Adorable Owl piece, but I have cut bigger pieces and it's the right measurement in the PDF, so don't stress, you'll be right. I don't know what I was thinking when I created these kits the other day, but it was a little bit off. I think it was about 1/4 of an inch off. So we're stamping those with Memento Tuxedo black ink. I am colouring them with all 3 colours, Crumb Cake, Balmy Blue and Daffodil Delight, and I've sort of coloured all the way around that owl in the Balmy Blue to look like he's flying in the sky. So with any of the others you could choose to do the same, do an outline of the Balmy Blue around to give it an extra bit of an effect, but completely up to you. Now I haven't stamped on the inside of the first 2 cards. You can certainly go back and stamp on the inside. Don't forget your envelopes as well. I've just kept these really quite easy and quick cards for you, but you can change these up or do whatever you like with these kits, completely up to you. Even if you don't like the Adorable Owls, you could use another stamp set with it, so totally up to you. Alright, so we're going to stamp that piece as well. What else is there to tell you? This week's been really quite slow, so today has been wonderful. When I woke up this morning early, it felt like the seasons had changed. So it was still dark, and that was at 6:30. It was cool, and it was quite cool all morning. It sort of got warmer in the afternoon, but not super hot. And I know we've got some 40 or high 30s, getting into maybe 40, 41 in the next week or so. But I think summer might be on its way out, which is super exciting for me. I love autumn. Autumn's my favourite month, but we don't seem to get too much of autumn anymore. I was actually speaking to a customer this morning, and she said we only have 2 seasons, summer and winter, and I tend to agree with her, because our springs and our autumns are usually 2 weeks, if that we're lucky to get. So it'd be nice to see the change come in. It hasn't been really hot summer, I will admit that, but once we sort of hit 30s, I'm not liking it too much. I like the 20 to 25. I think that's always nice. You can still walk around in a shirt and shorts and not get burnt, and it's still comfortable, which is lovely. So once we've finished colouring this in, we're going to just glue them straight down, and then we can add our rhinestones as well. So let me think what else is going on. My husband hasn't tested the motor he got for the hoist. I don't think I said that before, so that'll be interesting to see whether that works. I'll let you know. I think he's going to wait so I don't ask. I don't know. I don't know whether it was an impulse buy or not, but when we did pick it up, the guy come out and said that he'd had so many phone calls regarding it. And because we live, a long way away from Melbourne, it's only 2.5 hours to Melbourne, but because it was down at Patterson Lakes, that's a fair way. And he said that he had people offering him money to come and get it now, and he said no, someone's on their way. So it was nice that he kept his word and didn't sell it, because I won't tell you how many times my husband's gone to pick stuff up that he's bought and people have sold it before he's got there, because we're not 10 minutes around the corner, and that's very frustrating for my husband. He's even paid for things and gone to pick them up, and they've refunded him the money. So we usually have a lot more luck if it's over this way, so over Shepparton Way or Bendigo Way, because people from Melbourne won't come up this far. But my husband will drive anywhere for a bargain. But and look, Melbourne's not that far away, so it's a nice little trip out. But yeah, after the weekend that we had, it was pretty full on. I will say we slept very well Sunday night. Okay, so yeah, I'm just thinking I really don't have much else to tell you. I've had a packed week, but I probably talk too fast as well, which is another reason why I don't really talk in my videos. So if you're in need of any of the supplies that I've used today, don't forget, by purchasing them in my online store, use the monthly hostess code, and I have wonderful specials for you. So even if you're placing an order between the 23rd and 28th, if you don't want these kits, you would prefer to get the handmade card, the February bundle tutorial, or if it's over $100 in product, you'll also receive the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial. You can ask for those instead of the card kits. Completely up to you. It is the same host code that I'm using for both, so you have that choice if you would like either. The Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial has 12 tutorials in there. It's using the Regency Park suite, which is in the mini catalogue. I'm just going to have a quick look and see what pages the Regency Park's on, so you can have a look if you're not 100% sure. Page 30 to 33. I did do that card for the Regency Park Simple Sweet Stampers last Thursday, so it is here on the YouTube channel. If you would like to check that out, there's more information over my blog. You can have a look at that as well. So this week's Tracy Sunday Challenge is also on until Sunday. Trains, planes and automobiles is the whole theme. There's been quite a few entries already, so if you're interested in seeing what everyone's created, you could go over to my Facebook page, find the link with the theme, and then have a look in the comments. There's 4 or 5 cards there now, so go and have a look. If you'd like to join in, just pop your cards in the comment section, which is always fun. There'll be also a new challenge on Sunday, so I'll be back on Sunday 8:30 if you'd like to come back and join me for that. So here are the 3 cards. I really hope that you've enjoyed this class. I hope that I haven't annoyed you too much by gibbering on with stuff that's going on. Choosing the Adorable Hours, this is only available till the 28th, so please, if this is a stamp set that you're after, please get in and get it now. Once it goes into March, it will no longer be available. You won't be able to purchase it through Stamping Up. Alright everyone, I hope that you've enjoyed today's class. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. I'd love it if you left me a comment, and if you haven't hit subscribe, please do that as well. Alright everyone, I'll see you on Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.